Hey guys, welcome to digitalartthatrocks.com. I'm Brian Rodgers. Today I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on how to do some color conversions. This is actually really helpful in commercial work, whether you're doing stuff for catalogs or you're doing automotive photography or even product photography. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this red dress to a black dress in a matter of minutes. Minimal masking really too. Basically what we're going to do, we're going to start with an adjustment layer, black and white adjustment layer, and we're going to make this dress black. So I'm going to change the blend mode of this black and white adjustment layer to darken. Obviously the colors look a little weird here, so I'm going to focus on the yellows for a second. I'm going to take this slider, and if you notice I move it back and forth, it looks a little odd when you move it to the left, but when you move it to the right, the image looks almost normal again. So we're going to focus on the reds here. As I take the slider and I drag it to the left, you're going to notice that the reds are actually starting to turn black, which is what we want. Now obviously the skin tone looks a little weird, so you will have to do a little bit of masking, but just focus on the dress for a second. So as I bring it back over to the left, you can see a little bit of detail, which is exactly what we want. So I'm going to leave it about there, and I've actually already made a mask, but I'm just going to show you as an example. You can take a brush, and you've already, since it's an adjustment layer, you already have a mask anyway, but you can easily just brush this stuff out. And it doesn't really take a whole lot of time, just depends on what you're doing. I'm going to go ahead and undo that, and I'm just going to load the selection here by holding the Command key and clicking on the mask below. And I'm going to hit Alt Delete, and that is going to basically just make that selection around there and take out the adjustment layer. So we're left with just this black dress, which is pretty cool. So in a matter of minutes, I just went from a completely red dress to a black dress, still retaining all of the detail, which is really cool. So now we're actually going to try to make this white. So I'm going to do the exact opposite here. I'm going to go ahead and keep this layer, and I'm going to switch my blend mode to lighten. We're going to go ahead and open up this panel again. And again, if I started from a brand new adjustment layer, it would probably start, you know, I don't know, something like this. But you're going to take the yellows, drag them over so everything looks correct in the skin tone. And right now, we're just going to focus on this red slider. So you'll notice as I drag this over to the right-hand side, it starts turning white. If I go too far, obviously it's going to blow out the highlights. So we want to find that sweet spot. So about right here, it looks pretty nice. You can see that we went from a red dress to a completely white dress containing all of the detail in it in just a matter of seconds. And really, I didn't have to do a whole lot of work for that. We can also make it gray if we want, so we can just actually back the slider off just a tiny bit, which is pretty cool. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you another example. This one's a little easier simply because we're not going to have to really worry about the skin tones too much. So in this example here, I am going to change the jeans to black. And why would we want to do this? Well, even though you're working with creative directors and art directors and they may have a clear vision on what they're after, which is the case most of the time, there are times where they may change their mind after the fact, and have versatility in your retouching is really good. So let's say that the art director or creative director, or even the photographer, wanted to change these jeans to black. Really simple to do. We're going to add a black and white adjustment layer. We're going to switch the blend mode to darken. We're going to focus on this yellow slider for a second. If we take it to the left, it doesn't look so good. If we take it to the right, it looks better. This is about where we need to be. Also, since we're dealing with skin tones here, we're just going to drag this red slider all the way to the right. Now to change the color on the blue jeans, we're actually just going to take the blue slider. We're going to drag it to the left. As we drag it to the left, you'll notice the jeans turn black. If I go way too far, of course, it's going to be blown out. So again, it's one of those things where you just got to find the sweet spot. About right there, looks pretty good. -65. So just again, in a matter of seconds, went from blue jeans to black jeans, just like that. Really helpful tool. Now again, you can use this in commercial portraiture, you can use this in catalog photography, automotive commercial photography, product photography. Really, it's limitless. But this is just a quick way of color converting from you know, taking a color and actually just making it black or white. Pretty simple and pretty cool tool. So again, this is digitalartthatrocks.com. I'm Brian Rodgers. Thanks for listening, guys.